What's going on, everybody? Make sure you drop a like, drop a follow. Before you do anything, drop that like, drop a comment. What kind of videos you want to see me do next up on the channel? It helps the algorithm, so drop one of those down below. And also, it either came out on Wednesday or Sunday. I don't know which order these two videos are coming out, but either keep an eye out or go check out the video already exists of me picking up a couple of boxes at the flea market. And find out I got these two books and more for just $30. So that's fun and exciting. But we're going to talk about, I was at a convention over the weekend. I set up in Maryland for a show. Look, here we are, another makeshift stand. I promise one of these days I'm really gonna get something to hold these comics up. One of these days. But I had went to a show out in Maryland. Spent the night out there. Got up early in the morning, set up, and it was a good show, solid show. Always a good time. And I bought some books, so I figured we're going to start off with the dollar books, and we'll go build up to the keys, you know. So in the dollar bins, there's a couple of books. No, I didn't buy this for the Earth X stuff going on. I didn't buy this for spec. I've been trying to build all the Universe, Earth, and Paradise X books up, and these were just a couple last few I still need. Grab this, because this is always an easy book to sell. Over Gen 13. This is a great set to build. I'm always building that set. Life Death Part 2. There's another one. I think I got one of these. Last time I was in Maryland. And then one guy had books in his half off section. And looks like they got a little jumbled. And so basically he had everything at $2, but I ended up getting them all for $1 a piece. So why not? So we're start off with 2 Evangeline #1s. Now they just optioned Evangeline, so she's supposedly got a movie coming. But also my buddy John was a longtime artist on the book, so whenever I pick up cool Evangeline books, I just kind of pick them up for a habit. And then a couple of Crow books for $1, because why not? I mean, we got the Image issue 4, Image issue 5, Image issue 7, Wild Justice #3 from Kitchen Sink. So, always favorite Crow books when they're $1. Blood of Dracula #3. This is a fun run I'm trying to put together. And then some random indie book that caught my eye. Xenia. Never heard of it. Never seen it before. Flip through it. It's not anything that special. But for $1, why not? Why not? And then of course, everything got jumbled somehow, some way. And then these also were in the dollar bins. So a couple of X-Men keys, but they're not in the best condition. But for less than $1 piece, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna leave them there. One guy had a $5 bin, which is where I found a fairly decent little key. Actually, I already started processing this one to get rid of the second print, Civil War #2 with the McKinnon cover. So that's a fairly sought-after book. I got an issue of Dread magazine. This is the summer special #1. It's tough to see in the Mylar, but I didn't want to take it out right now, but it's pretty cool. You know, I will. It's pretty cool. I pick up these dreads when I see them for, you know, I try to buy them in the dollar bins. I actually only have one of them. Well, now I have 2. This was $5. Oh, I didn't realize there was tape on the book, but that cover is so cool. I had to, yeah, it's just cool. It's just cool. Hellraiser, little ashcan magazine. So, figured why not? I'd pick that guy up. And then I found one of the 2 decenter books that is a Mr. Monster #2 Dave Stevens cover. Now, if you know what's going on in the market right now, you know Dave Stevens is red hot. Now, of course, guys want the lady Dave Stevens covers. They don't really want the Mr. Monsters as much. Well, although this one's fairly sold out. Probably, you know, nice $30 book right now. But they don't want the Rocketeer. They don't want the monster covers. They want the lady covers. And the really, really, really low print run monster covers, I guess. But I don't know. I like Mr. Monster, and I would fall down a slippery slope there. And I've already collected a good chunk of them the last couple months. So this was a nice one to scratch off the list. So that's a solid little book. One guy had it in his $2 bins, and I didn't realize they reprinted this book, so it's the second print. It's really only worth like $2 to $5 anyway. But I picked it up. I remember when this came out, the first print was like, a couple $100. But an ENIAC #1 from Bad Idea. That Bad Idea, they are, they warned you. They're a bad idea. They stink. But for $2, I was gonna roll the dice on it. And then another guy had $4 bins, and then I bought a wall book and then thrown in the couple of $4 books. So because I already started to process Transformers Spotlight, Shockwave #1. Now this is the Retailer Summit from 2006 variant. So it's a cool little book. It's kind of, I guess I got a bit of a glare there, but kind of a cool book. I appreciate the little gold text. I think it's a wraparound, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a wraparound. But it's a Retailer Summit book. Sometimes the Retailer Summit books aren't as easy to find years and years later. And then the last 2 books here, I got a Hack and Slash number 11, I think. Right, 27? 15. Wow, okay, I'm all over the place. Issue 15, first part of the Reanimator story. This is the Joe Jusko variant cover with Herbert West there. And this might be my favorite Reanimator cover I've ever seen. I mean, I like the #1, of course. Gorgeous cover, which she had there too, but that's all right. I didn't need it. But it was that's a gorgeous cover. I've always liked Joe Jusko, and that's a pretty solid cover. So now I gotta hunt down part 2 and part 3 of that. I didn't even know they did a crossover. I didn't know Reanimator was in Hack Slash for Devil Do Press. So that's pretty cool. And then I knocked off a book on my hunt list for the year, Brave and the Bold number 85. I should know that off the top, but I don't. Brave and the Bold 85. That is not only a great Neil Adams key, gorgeous Neil Adams cover, great Neil Adams artwork, but it is the first time the Green Arrow is in that suit. So that's fairly exciting. To me, that's the best Green Arrow suit. It's iconic looking. It's pretty dope. And he gave me a deal on it, which I appreciate. But overall, it was a solid show. Sold some books off my wall. I replaced some books for the wall. Not that any of this stuff was really wall-less books. I guess that, but I'm keeping it. So what do you get there? But overall, not too shabby. I'd also got over the weekend, my buddy, shout out to you, picked up or gave me a Super Famicom beat 'em up Mazinger game. This is gorgeous. I haven't had the time to play with my SNES to try and get this to work. I know you have to, like, not modify it, but you got to do something to it to be able to, because these are bigger cartridges. But that's also, even if I don't play it, the box art is gorgeous, but I do intend on playing it. And he also had given me a Halloween VHS tape, which is spectacular. And then I'd also stop by at, ooh, that's exciting. Now, I'd also stop by over at Frankenstein Comics and picked up a couple of new books. So I got my 3 open order covers to Godzilla versus Kong versus the Justice League. So the covers aren't that great this week, but what are you going to do? And I picked up an X-Men 132. So that's not too shabby. Good little key. And then for $1, I think I already have this issue, but I think this is a cleaner copy than mine. Maybe. It's got a couple ticks on it. I'll always buy these for Zeta Erotica Jaguar God issues. That's issue 0. I always just pick them up because they're great. They just snag. And shout out to my buddy Chris over Panther Comics for giving me this guy who came in a recent collection. It's a low grade. It's going to just fill the hole. But Journey to Mystery 115, that Origin of Loki issue. So that fills the hole. It's stuff I've been trying to work on my Journey and my Thor run, but I'm getting so down to the wire that it's you know what I mean? It's like it's tough. There's only so many more I can find. I think I'm less than 60 issues away from Thor, so every time I find an issue, of course, it's one I already had. And then Journey's just tough. Journey's just a tough run to build. It's not easy. There's some big keys in there, and even the small books are still, $50 oftentimes if you want a decent copy. So, hope you enjoyed. Make sure you follow me here on Instagram and Facebook for more daily content. I got stuff coming up here every single day with the YouTube Shorts. Got multiple full-length videos coming up a week usually. Always post on Wednesdays and almost always post them on Sundays as well. as long as I get time to record a bonus video. But I always got Wednesday videos coming up. We're gonna put out a movie channel coming up because I think the October reviews I always do might have to move to its own channel, and there might be some other movie content coming out there. And of course, check out the Facebook group Fandoms Unleashed for behind the scenes look at Connor's comics, great discussions. You can go in there, post yourself about movies, games, toys, comics, whatever you want. That's all linked down in the description. Until next time, peace.